Good morning again. As we transition from the old to the new year, a word to fellow gazers as I read Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus, an invitation to spend a year with your best friend, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. A word to fellow gazers. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. That is exactly what we will be doing for the next 365 days. And there is no better place to look. He is not only the way, the truth, and the life, John 14:6, but also the answer to our greatest hopes and fears. In Jesus, we find meaning for both the present life and the one to come. As a result, his person and ministry are the best place to fix our gaze. How to approach the topic was the major difficulty. At first, I thought I should trace his life by focusing on one gospel, but that would leave so much out. So I then contemplated telling the story through the eyes of all four gospel writers. But that also was problematic, since the earthly life of Jesus is only an infinitely small fraction of who he is. As a result, I finally decided to use the evidence supplied in both biblical testaments to trace his life from eternity in the past through eternity in the future. Of course, not all the data could fit into one book. As a result, my treatment centers on 9 focal points in Jesus' life and ministry. I have arranged the readings in a generally chronological fashion, but not slavishly so. Needless to say, some of the sections are more selective in their content than others. That is especially true for his years of ministry. A year of 365 days is just not enough to do justice to such a life. But I suppose that is good. My hope for each of us is that these 365 days shall be a mere beginning of a life dedicated to daily turning our eyes upon Jesus. Meanwhile, my prayer is that you will receive a great blessing from this year's reading, as I did in writing them. In closing, I would like to express appreciation to my wife for typing my handwritten manuscript, and to Jeanette Johnson and Gerald Wheeler for shepherding it through the publication process. George R. Knight. Rogue River, Oregon. Dedicated to Bonnie, my best friend and wife, in that order. A most wonderful combination. So, for this day, it concludes our reading of A Word to Fellow Gazers as we look at Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus.